Hi, this is Kim Schlesinger. I'm a site reliability engineer at Fairwinds. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create, view, and destroy a pod in Kubernetes. Specifically, we're going to create a pod using the nginx image. Then we're going to view the YAML, which describes that pod. And finally, we'll delete that pod. Let's get started creating a pod using the nginx image. I'm going to hop over into my Kubernetes sandbox environment, which I created in Katacoda. You can see the prior video to show you how that's done. And just to make sure I'm connected with the Kubernetes cluster, I'm going to say kube control get nodes. And I see my one Minikube node. Great. All right, I'm ready to create a pod. So I'm going to create a pod using the nginx image, and I'm going to do this all from the command line. First step is you say kube control, and we're going to run something called nginx. That's the name we're giving it. Now I want to specify the image where I'm going to get this container. Image equals nginx, and then finally I'm going to say restart equals never. If you leave that flag off, you'll create a deployment instead of a pod. So let's hit enter. Great, says pod nginx created. So if I say kube control get pods, awesome, I see my nginx pod, it's ready and it's running. It's 7 seconds old. So let's take a look at our second objective. We want to view the YAML, which describes that nginx pod. The way that you do that is, again, start with kube control, and you say describe pod, and then you just say the name of the pod that you want to examine. Excellent. All right, here is the YAML for this pod. Starts up here with the top. The name is nginx. It resides in the default namespace. It's on our Minikube node. It was started at this time. Some labels. It's running. Tells us information about the container, the nginx container, like the container ID and where the image lives. And if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we can see all the events that have happened in the pod. The pod was started, created, the nginx image was pulled successfully, and then assigned to this pod in Minikube. Super cool. All right, so we just viewed the YAML, which describes the pod, and finally we want to delete the pod. The way that you do that is you say kube control, delete pod, and then you pass in the name of the pod. It says pod nginx deleted. All right, that's it. Let's take a look at what we've done. We created, viewed, and destroyed a pod in Kubernetes. Hope you had fun. See you next time.